BBC Hereford and Worcester.
Oh my goodness, I'm exhausted already. Right, we'll play in about 5 minutes' time. It's Tammy Gooding at breakfast. Good morning. A beautiful, beautiful day. 20 to 8 if you're clock watching. And, well, a splash of colour, a stroke of paint. Do you like art? I quite like art. Sometimes I sit and do art with the boys. I used to anyway. I mean, they do their own thing now. Art is a great way to express ourselves and get creative, isn't it? And for one man from Malvern, art has become a way for him to show that autism is an ability and not a disability. Rhys Clarkson was diagnosed with autism at 8 and now takes inspiration from the Malvern Hills for his paintings as part of Art on the Spectrum. BBC Hereford and Worcester's Emma Davies went to meet Rhys and to see his fabulous work.
So that was the noise of someone who's very busy at work, painting away. You're currently painting a floating island.
Yeah, it's basically it's a little place for people to go to because of the busyness in everyone's lives, like around the world.
Now, as well as doing floating islands, you also take inspiration from the natural landscape around us here in Worcestershire. Is that right?
When I go on the bus in Worcester and we go across the River Severn, it's just such a beautiful place. You see the swans. That's the floating island of Worcester. You can just go there whenever you want and escape. Autism affects people in many different ways, but instead of a disability, you got to look at it as a superpower, because autism and you together will find your gifts. And me and autism found my gift in art, and how quickly I learned. I'm gobsmacked.
Because what does it feel like for you when you come up here and you've got a beautiful view overlooking the Malvern Hills and you put that brush onto that canvas? It's
like my own little world where it's just me. The moment I step in this room is the moment that I forget everything.
Gorgeous. Rhys Clarkson there, the man behind Art on the Spectrum, speaking to BBC Hereford and Worcester's Emma Davies. Emma also spoke to his support worker, Jaima, about Rhys's progress.
Rhys has been hiding this love for painting from us for a long time. And recently I was helping him organise his bedroom because we're doing his bedroom up. So we've been organising that. And I came across so many canvases of paintings and I just couldn't believe, well, I can believe, but I was like, Rhys, what have you been hiding from us? These are so beautiful. People need to see your work. And Rhys has always struggled with your typical 9-to-5 job. And I've always wanted to try and find him a way of being able to make a little bit of money without having to go through the stress of 9-to-5 jobs. And for the last 4 weeks that he's been doing this, his mood has changed. He is so relaxed. He is happy. He has something to wake up for. He's motivated. Yeah, so I'm just really proud of him.
Jaima talking about Rhys and his progress and his artwork and what it brings to him and everybody else. It's lovely. Art can very much be a great escape, can't it, from all sorts of things. It can free the mind and focus the mind. And one person who knows all about this is Sarah Jukes, an artist from Worcester who's also creator of one of the sculptures on top of the Worcester plinth, the gulls. In fact, we chatted recently about that, didn't we, Sarah? Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Thanks for having me on. Yes, we did chat about that. And now it's in Gulliver Park, which I think is a very apt name, considering there are gulls on top.
Just briefly, before we move on to talk about art generally, describe yours that's on the plinth in Gulliver Park right now.
They are big gulls, 3 different gulls, squawking, all made of junk, all made of scraps of metal and material and old flip-flops and anything that was going to go to landfill. So kind of thinking about how we are very much part of nature and we need to think about how nature doesn't have a bin. And so just highlighting those kind of aspects of waste and how we are part of nature and we need to kind of, really think about how we belong within it and we shouldn't be damaging it.
It's fabulous, your art, and your art has a message.
Thank you.
And I imagine that message and the creation of something visual like that to tell a story like that must take an awful lot of focus and patience. How much of an escape or a release can art be for artists like you and like Rhys?
Yeah, and I loved hearing Rhys's story just then. It really resonates, I think, and I think it would resonate with lots of other people as well, because I think the two elements that he's talking about, art and nature, they both can similarly help in our really frantic lives. I think the very act of creating and observing art in itself can be really fantastic at making you feel really in the moment, as it were, to cultivate that presence and reduce stress and relax, reduce overthinking, really focus on the sensory experiences. It feels really like a healthy thing to do. And of course, nature does as well. Being within nature, there's lots of research that shows that nature can reduce stress and anxiety and help improve your mood, create a sense of calm, reduce blood pressure and focus. And apparently, as little as 20 minutes in nature can boost your mental health and well-being. And in Wales and some other places, you can even get nature on prescription. So they kind of offer you a seasonal calendar with lots of accessible nature-based activities like bird watching and walking within forests and woodlands, gardening, just even like the act of noticing seasonal colours and things like that. So hearing Rhys talk about the very specific parts of Hereford and Worcester is lovely, and how he uses that, and how art and nature can both do really similar things.
100%. There is something about that. I think for most of us, even if we're not artists, I think it was that time when we were all cooped up in lockdown, and it was such a shock to the system, and we were all so afraid and highly strung. And then we were told we could have that 1 hour to go out. And I tell you, because we weren't in cars and because we weren't rushing around, I noticed more on those walks than I think I'd noticed in years. And that moment of connection, proper connection, is so healing and restorative, isn't it? Yeah.
It really is. I think as well, nature is amazingly visceral and awe-inspiring. I think when we do that, like you said, like in lockdown, we were deliberately in nature, and it was that deliberate act that was it really helps the endorphins, and it's fascinating.
Yeah,
the whole wondrous aspect of nature, the growth and the decay and everything, all the experiences, all those sensory experiences.
It's gorgeous. And there you are. You've said it. That solace that Rhys has spoken of when he engages with art and that connection with nature, because that's the art that he's creating. It's absolutely wonderful. Sarah, thank you. Sarah.
Anyway, let's talk about something a bit more cheerful at 6 minutes to midday. A splash of colour and a stroke of paint. Art, of course, is a great way to express yourself and get creative. For one man in Malvern, though, art has become a way for him to show that autism is an ability and not a disability. Rhys Colwell-Clarkson was diagnosed with autism at 8 years old, now takes inspiration from the Malvern Hills for his painting as part of Art on the Spectrum. And our reporter, BBC Hereford and Worcester, Emma Davies, went out to meet Rhys and see his work.
So that was the noise of someone who's very busy at work, painting away. You're currently painting a floating island.
Yeah, it's basically it's a little place for people to go to because of the busyness in everyone's lives, like around the world.
Now, as well as doing floating islands, you also take inspiration from the natural landscape around us here in Worcestershire. Is that right?
When I go on the bus in Worcester and we go across the River Severn, it's just such a beautiful place. You see the swans. That's the floating island of Worcester. You can just go there whenever you want and escape. Autism affects people in many different ways, but instead of a disability, you got to look at it as a superpower, because autism and you together will find your gifts. And me and autism found my gift in art, and how quickly I learned. I'm gobsmacked.
Because what does it feel like for you when you come up here and you've got a beautiful view overlooking the Malvern Hills and you put that brush onto that canvas?
It's like my own little world where it's just me. The moment I step in this room is the moment that I forget everything.
It's great, though, isn't it? That's Rhys talking to our reporter, Emma Davies. Let's speak to Rhys's support worker, Jaima Bacco, who's on the line now. Hi, Jaima.
Hello, you all right?
Yeah, good, thank you very much. Now you helped discover all of this, didn't you, Rhys's love for art? Tell us how that happened.
Well, we were having a bit of a spring clean of Rhys's flat one day, and we came across several canvases which Rhys had painted beforehand that he was hiding away. And I was just completely taken back by how beautiful they were, So Rhys, at the time, he didn't think anything of it. He was like, oh, they're just some paintings I did.
So he didn't realise how good he was then?
Well, not until I was like, Rhys, you need to do something about this. This is amazing.
And you've encouraged him to turn it into a business then?
Yeah, so Rhys has always had an interest in wanting to work for himself and has spoken about owning his own business, but didn't really know which type of business to go for. So when I saw these paintings and explained to Rhys, we could take some pictures of these, we could create you a business page, put them on selling sites and just see where it goes. So since then, Rhys has come up with the fabulous name, which is Art on the Spectrum. And yeah, he's, set up a business page and sold a few of his paintings. And quite a lot of people have shown interest, especially in Malvern, in his paintings.
That's brilliant. What a great thing. And you're his support worker. So you worked with him for a long time. I suppose you have you seen changes in him as a result of this?
Oh, yes, definitely. Since Rhys has been focusing on his talents for painting, I've seen a huge change in Rhys. He's a lot calmer, he's less anxious, he's motivated, he's excited for the future. He wakes up with a purpose and he's just happy, and he's got all these big plans. He's talking about opening up a place or a shop or something where people with disabilities can go to listen to calming music and paint. So a safe environment for them, and then somewhere he can showcase all of his art and people can buy them. He's suddenly coming up with all these amazing ideas, which he could 100% do.
That's brilliant. I mean, what a great thing that kind of supports him and also, makes a few quid on the side as well.
Yeah, 100%. I'm so proud of him. And this is exactly, what I come to work for, is to, motivate people to use their talents to, do something with their lives. So they're doing things that they love,
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well done you for pointing out how good he is, clearly, and well done to Rhys as well for being so brilliant. Lovely to speak to you.
And you.
Take care. That's Jaima Bacco. Rhys Colwell-Clarkson, the man behind Art on the Spectrum. And if, just search for it and you'll find it. I just had a quick look. Nice, some brilliant paintings there, Art on the Spectrum. And long may he continue with that. And remember, if he becomes a famous artist, you heard him here first on BBC Hereford and Worcester.